There comes a moment in every person's life when the truth becomes impossible to ignore. Working harder is not the same as moving forward. Millions of people spend their entire lives trading time for money, believing that effort alone creates freedom. But real freedom, financial freedom, only begins when your money starts working harder than you do. This book is for the person who is ready to break that old pattern. It is for the individual who is done relying solely on salary, overtime, and the limits of personal energy. It is for the one who wants to understand step by step how wealth is really built in the modern world. Not through luck, not through shortcuts, but through systems, through strategy, through income streams that continue to pay long after the work has been done. You are about to learn a new way of thinking, a blueprint, a structure, a financial operating system that quiets the noise, removes the confusion, and shows you exactly how people build wealth that keeps growing, even when they are resting, traveling, or sleeping. Passive income is not magic. It is not a fantasy. It is simply the result of designing your life in a way that allows value to flow without requiring your constant presence. Some streams grow slowly, some grow fast, some require more involvement at the beginning, others require more understanding and patience. But all of them share the same foundation. Once built, they begin to pay you again and again. In this audiobook, you will not hear empty motivational lines or unrealistic promises. You will hear clarity. You will hear the truth. You will hear a blueprint that any person, regardless of background, education, or current income, can follow. You will understand the difference between linear income and exponential income, between assets and obligations, between money that moves only when you do and money that moves independently. We will explore modern digital opportunities, practical business models, real-world investment principles, and the mindset required to make them all work. Because without the right mindset, even the best opportunities fail. This journey is not only financial, it is psychological. You will learn how to think like someone who builds, someone who owns, someone who creates value instead of chasing it. You will discover why most people remain stuck in the same financial cycle for years, and how a few simple shifts in approach can completely reshape your financial future. And as you move from chapter to chapter, you will begin to see a new picture forming, your own blueprint, your own path to freedom, your own system that, once built, will continue to pay you for years. This is not just a book, this is an invitation to step into a different life, a different mindset, and a different level of control over your future. Welcome to the Blueprint to Passive Income and Financial Freedom. Your journey starts now. Chapter 1. The Shift from Working Hard to Working Smart. For most of life, we are taught that hard work is the answer to everything. Work harder, stay longer, sacrifice more, and eventually the reward will come. And for many years, that idea served a purpose. It created strong workers, determined families, and generations of people who believed in effort. But in today's world, effort alone is no longer enough. You can work hard for 10 years and still struggle. You can give your best, day and night, yet remain financially stuck. Because the world has changed, and the people who thrive today are not simply the ones who work hard, they are the ones who work smart. They understand leverage, they understand systems, they understand how money can move with or without their constant presence. The first shift you must make is realizing that your time will always be limited. No matter how disciplined, no matter how committed, you cannot work 24 hours a day. You cannot multiply yourself. But you can multiply your impact. You can multiply your income streams. You can multiply your opportunities. And you can build things that continue to move while you rest. This single understanding is what separates the financially free from those who stay stuck in the cycle of depending solely on salary. Hard work creates stability, but smart work creates scalability. When you rely only on your physical presence to generate income, you are trapped inside a system where your earning power is capped. It doesn't matter how loyal you are, it doesn't matter how much you give. If your income depends strictly on your time, you will always hit a ceiling. Smart work breaks that ceiling. Smart work uses time as a tool, not a limitation. Smart work builds assets. Smart work creates income streams that continue after the effort is done. The transition from hard work to smart work is not about abandoning responsibility. It is not about being lazy or avoiding effort. In fact, smart work often requires more discipline in the beginning. It requires learning, strategizing, planning, creating. It requires you to step out of comfort and into a new level of thinking. Hard work depends on muscle, but smart work depends on mindset. And the mindset shift begins with one truth. You must stop trading your time for money and start trading your skills, your creativity, your systems, and your ideas for long-term returns. The people who build passive income understand that their energy is better spent building machines than building hours. They build processes that can operate without them. They build content, products, and knowledge that can be sold repeatedly. They invest in assets that grow without daily involvement. They create partnerships, systems, and automations that transform one-time effort into ongoing benefits. Every hour spent building a system is worth more than 10 hours spent working inside one. Think of the difference this way. A hard worker carries buckets of water to fill a tank. A smart worker builds a pipe system that fills the tank automatically. Both individuals work. Both individuals put in effort. But one creates a cycle that ends, while the other creates a system that continues. The pipe builder, once finished, begins receiving the benefit every day, with or without showing up. This is the foundation of passive income. This is the foundation of smart work. You do the work once, and the value continues to flow. When you begin building your own systems, whether digital, financial, or business, you begin stepping into a world where your time is no longer the only resource you have. You start using technology, automation, knowledge, and compounding to multiply yourself. You start creating assets that grow even when you are offline. You begin to realize that the world around you is full of opportunities that require intelligence more than physical sacrifice. The discomfort many people feel with smart work comes from habit. They have grown up believing that it is noble to work yourself into exhaustion, that sweating and suffering represent commitment. But in the real world, effort without direction leads to burnout. Effort without strategy leads to frustration. The goal is not to work less. The goal is to work differently. To work in a way where every hour contributes to something bigger than a paycheck. Smart work demands clarity. What are you building? What problem are you solving? What system are you trying to create? When you understand your direction, your effort becomes meaningful. You make moves that matter. You create assets that will reward you long after the initial work is done. You start building a life where income is not a monthly event, but a continuous flow. Look at the modern world. People are earning from digital products, online platforms, content, investments, micro-businesses, rentals, creative services, automations, and countless other methods that didn't exist 20 years ago. The tools to build passive income are everywhere, but most people never use them because they are too busy surviving, too busy repeating the same routine, too busy trying to maintain a life that exhausts them. Smart work is about breaking that pattern and choosing to build something that outlives your effort. Smart work is strategic. It prioritizes learning high-value skills, building online presence, creating scalable products, establishing systems, and investing intelligently. It is less about physical tasks and more about decisions, less about hours worked and more about the impact of those hours, less about what did I do today and more about what did I build today that will continue to serve me tomorrow. The truth is simple. People who master smart work eventually become unbothered by the pressure of financial survival. They stop fearing the end of the month. They stop depending on job titles or overtime. Their income comes from multiple channels. Their assets protect them. Their systems support them. Their money works in the background, freeing their mind to focus on bigger opportunities. When you shift from working hard to smart work, your life begins to move differently. You stop feeling trapped. You stop feeling limited. You start thinking long-term. You begin to act like a builder, a creator, an investor, not just a worker. You invest your time in knowledge that multiplies. You invest your energy in systems that expand. You invest your creativity in value that can be shared endlessly. This chapter is your turning point. It marks the moment you decide to build more than income. You decide to build freedom. Because financial freedom is not a destination, it is a result of clear thinking, strategic action, and systems that pay you long after the work is done. This is the shift from effort to leverage, from repetition to creation, from working inside the system to building your own. And once you make this shift, everything changes. Chapter 2. Understanding linear income versus asset-based income. If you truly want financial freedom, you must understand one concept that separates the rich from the stuck, the free from the exhausted, and the builders from the workers. That concept is the difference between linear income and asset-based income. This is the foundation of every wealth strategy, every passive income model, and every financial system used by people who build wealth that continues to grow long after the work has been done. Most people live their entire lives earning linear income. It feels familiar, it feels safe, it feels predictable. But it is also the slowest, most limiting path to financial freedom. Linear income is simple. You work, you earn. You stop working, the income stops. Your time becomes the only resource, your energy becomes the only engine, and your earnings are permanently tied to how many hours you can physically give. It does not matter how good you are, how loyal you are, or how hard you work. Linear income will always keep you capped, because the moment you stop, the money stops. This structure creates a life where you are permanently dependent on your employer, dependent on your position, dependent on your capacity to keep showing up. And that dependency creates pressure to stay healthy, pressure to keep performing, pressure to work overtime, pressure to avoid risks, pressure to remain safe. It is a system where you must trade the most valuable thing you have, your time, for the least scalable reward, a single paycheck. Asset-based income, however, follows a completely different logic. It is income that comes from things you own, things you created, or systems you built that continue to produce value even when you are not physically working. It is income that does not require your presence, and once it is built, it can pay you again and again. This is the income of freedom. This is the income that multiplies. This is the income that wealthy people rely on. Think of assets as seeds. You plant them once, nurture them for a period, and eventually they grow into something that produces fruits on its own. A salary is not a seed, it is a payment for your time. But assets, digital products, investments, businesses, systems, platforms, these are the seeds that grow and continue to produce. They create leverage, allowing you to reap benefits long after the initial work is done. The shift from linear income to asset-based income begins with awareness. You must look at your work, your skills, your time, and your energy through a new lens. Ask yourself, is what I am doing building a permanent asset, or am I simply repeating a cycle that depends on me? Most people spend decades repeating tasks, not building anything that truly belongs to them. They may have experience, but they do not have assets. They may have knowledge, but they do not have systems. They may have skills, but they do not have ownership. Ownership is the key. Any income that stems from ownership, not labor, is asset-based. When you own something, it can continue generating cash flow whether or not you show up. It may take time to build, but once it exists, it works for you. This is why wealthy individuals spend more time acquiring and creating assets than acquiring jobs. They build portfolios, they create businesses, they produce intellectual property, they invest in systems, they develop platforms, they purchase things that grow with time, not things that drain them with time. They understand that one powerful asset can outperform 10 years of linear work. Let's break it down even more clearly. Linear income requires ongoing effort. Asset income requires initial effort. Linear income stops when you stop. Asset income continues regardless of your daily involvement. Linear income depends on your time. Asset income depends on leverage and systems. Linear income keeps you tied to one source. Asset income opens the door to multiple streams. Linear income pays you once. Asset income pays you repeatedly. Linear income uses energy. Asset income grows energy. The reason asset-based income feels unfamiliar is because most people have been conditioned to think only in terms of jobs. Perform task, earn money, repeat. The idea of building something once and getting paid again for years feels almost too good to be true. But it is not fantasy. It is simply strategy. It is simply understanding how value works in the world. In the digital age, this reality has become even more accessible. People are building passive income streams on platforms, tools, markets, and technologies that did not exist 2 decades ago. A single ebook, a digital course, a YouTube channel, an automation workflow, a rental property, a licensing deal, or an online service can become an income-producing asset. A website, a mobile app, a brand, a subscription, a share of stock, or a business system can become a long-term cash flow engine. The barrier to entry has never been lower, but the barrier in the mind remains the highest. You see, the real challenge is not technical, it is psychological. Because shifting from linear income to asset-based income requires patience. It requires delayed gratification. It requires willingness to build before you receive. It requires creating value before expecting reward. And most people are too attached to immediate results. They want the paycheck now. They want the return now. They want the reward before the process. But asset builders think differently. They understand that the early stages may feel slow, but the long-term payoff is extraordinary. They accept that building assets may require late nights, extra hours, and learning new skills. But they also understand that once the asset exists, it becomes one of the greatest sources of financial stability they will ever have. They are willing to sacrifice short-term comfort for long-term freedom. Another important truth: you don't need a lot of assets to change your life. One strong digital product can create a new stream. One rental property can create monthly cash flow. One online platform can produce revenue for years. One investment portfolio can grow exponentially. The power lies not in quantity, but in quality and strategy. The moment you begin creating or acquiring assets, your financial life transforms. You stop living month to month. You stop depending on one paycheck. You stop worrying about losing your job. You stop fearing slow periods. You develop confidence, not because you earn more, but because you own more. Ownership gives stability. Assets give control. Cash flow gives freedom. Most importantly, asset-based income allows you to reclaim your time. When your income is no longer tied to your hours, you begin living differently. You begin thinking differently. You begin making decisions from a place of power instead of pressure. You can take breaks without fear. You can travel. You can rest. You can explore new opportunities. Because your life is no longer chained to your workplace. Your systems continue working in the background. This is why understanding the difference between linear income and asset-based income is not just a financial lesson. It is a life lesson. It is the shift that moves you from survival to security, from pressure to freedom, from working for money to having money work for you. In the chapters ahead, you will learn exactly how to build these assets. You will learn the most powerful passive income models. You will learn modern digital strategies, timeless investment principles, and simple systems that anyone can build. But none of it will matter unless you understand this foundational truth. Freedom comes from assets, not effort. And once you truly understand this, your path becomes clear. Chapter 3. The Foundation. Building the Right Money Mindset for Passive Income. Before you build your first passive income stream, before you create your first asset, before you invest a single dollar or launch a single idea, there is one place you must start: your mindset. Not the mindset of a worker, not the mindset of a consumer, but the mindset of a builder, an owner, and a creator of value. Because without the right mindset, even the best financial strategies fail. And with the right mindset, even a small opportunity can grow into something powerful. Your mindset is the lens through which you see money, work, risk, opportunity, and value. It determines whether you build or hesitate, whether you grow or stay stuck, whether you invest or avoid, whether you take control or simply wait for a paycheck. Money does not respond to emotion. Money responds to structure, strategy, and how you treat it. And the way you treat it comes from what you believe about it. Most people grow up with a mindset built around survival, not wealth, not freedom, survival. The goal becomes earning enough, enough to pay bills, enough to stay safe, enough to get through the month. And when survival becomes the focus, growth becomes impossible. Because survival thinking makes money feel scarce. It makes risk feel dangerous. It makes opportunity look impossible. It keeps you attached to a job, attached to a salary, attached to one income source, and afraid to build anything that requires time or courage. To build passive income, you must shift from a scarcity mindset to a wealth mindset. Scarcity says, I don't want to lose money. Wealth says, I want my money to grow. Scarcity says, I need security right now. Wealth says, I'm building long-term security. Scarcity says, I can't take risks. Wealth says, I take calculated risks that lead to freedom. This shift begins by understanding one truth. Money grows when you give it direction. It expands when you treat it with intention. It multiplies when you place it inside systems designed to grow. And it disappears when you ignore it or use it only for consumption. The wealthy view money as a tool, a seed, an engine, something that can be built, multiplied, and deployed. Those trapped in survival view money as a lifeline, something they must hold tightly because if they let it go, they fear it will never return. This is the mindset that prevents people from investing, from building, from taking small risks that could create massive returns. Fear blocks opportunity. Fear keeps money static. Fear keeps people working hard without ever escaping their situation. But a builder understands that money must move, money must circulate, money must flow into things that create more money. Assets, systems, businesses, investments. They know that wealth comes from using money strategically, not emotionally. They see money as a partner, not something to fear. Another foundational mindset shift is seeing opportunity instead of obstacles. When most people look at passive income, they see difficulty. I don't know how. I don't have enough money. It takes too long. It seems hard. A builder looks at the same opportunity and asks, how can I learn? How can I start? What can I build with what I have today? Instead of saying I can't, they ask, how can I? That one shift opens doors that others cannot see. You also need to develop a mindset of delayed gratification. Passive income is not instant. It requires building before earning. It requires patience before payoff. It requires effort before freedom. If you expect to see results overnight, you will quit before the asset starts producing. This is why so many people start businesses, create digital products, invest in something, and then abandon it because it didn't pay immediately. They were thinking like employees, not owners. An employee gets paid weekly or monthly. An owner gets paid forever, after the work is done. But the build-up phase requires discipline. Wealth builders understand this. They know that the early stages are quiet. No results, no applause, no income, no validation. Just work, just effort, just planting seeds. Passive income rewards the patient, the persistent, and the long-term thinkers. If you quit early, you lose the most powerful part of the system, compounding. Compounding takes time, but once it starts, the results feel effortless. Another mindset shift is understanding that you are responsible for building your own financial freedom, not your employer, not your government, not your luck. People wait for opportunities to appear, but builders create opportunities. They don't wait for permission. They create their asset, launch their idea, start their channel, list their product, make their plan, and take their step. They take ownership of their financial direction. And with ownership comes confidence, because when you rely only on a job, your confidence is fragile. It depends on someone else's decision. But when you build assets, when you invest in yourself, when you create something that belongs to you, your confidence becomes internal. It becomes consistent. It becomes unshakable. Part of developing the right mindset is also releasing the fear of mistakes. Mistakes are part of learning. They are not signs of failure. They are signs of progress. People who escape financial struggle are the ones who allow themselves to learn. They accept the process. They experiment, adjust, try again. They persist. They improve. The wealthy are not smarter. They are not luckier. They simply see money differently. They see time differently. They see opportunity differently. And they make decisions that reflect where they want to be, not where they currently are. Here are the mindset beliefs you must adopt to build passive income. Money is a tool for freedom, not something to fear. Income should come from assets, not effort alone. I build things that continue paying me long after I stop working. I embrace patience. Wealth grows over time. I take responsibility for my financial future. I learn continuously, and every mistake is progress. I invest in myself before I invest in anything else. I focus on long-term growth, not short-term comfort. With this mindset, everything you build in the next chapters becomes easier. You will see opportunities that others ignore. You will take small actions that lead to big returns. You will make decisions based on expansion, not fear. You will see money not as something you chase, but something you design systems for. Because passive income is not about luck, it is about thinking like a builder. And once you adopt the mindset of a builder, your entire financial life begins to change. Chapter 4. The Modern Opportunities. Digital Assets That Can Pay You Forever. We now live in a time where the greatest opportunities for passive income are not built from factories, land, or massive capital. They are built from digital assets. Digital assets require creativity more than cash. They require consistency more than luck. And once built, they can generate income for years, sometimes decades, without needing your daily presence. Digital assets have created a new class of entrepreneurs and a new path to financial freedom. This is the modern advantage. You can build once, upload once, create once, and the value continues to work for you endlessly. These assets don't need sleep, vacation, sick leave, or supervision. They simply exist, alive, accessible, automated, and capable of producing income 24 hours a day. This chapter is about understanding these modern opportunities and seeing how each one can become a permanent part of your wealth-building blueprint. 1. Digital content. Your knowledge turning into income. Content is one of the most powerful digital assets ever created. A single video can pay you for years. A single audiobook can generate thousands of views monthly. A single guide, tutorial, or educational piece can grow into a library of value that continues to draw attention long after you created it. Content becomes an asset because it is stored digitally, accessible globally, and works while you are asleep. Platforms like YouTube, TikTok, podcasts, and blogs reward creators for consistency, knowledge, and authenticity. You don't need millions of followers, you need a clear message and the discipline to create. Imagine this: one video you uploaded 3 years ago, still getting views today, still earning revenue, still building your brand. That is passive digital income. Your past effort pays you in the present. 2. Digital products. Create once, sell forever. Digital products are one of the most scalable asset types in the online world. They require work up front, but once created, they cost nothing to reproduce. Every sale becomes pure profit. Examples include ebooks, templates, checklists, courses, graphic packs, music, effects, software tools, spreadsheets, automations. These products can be sold repeatedly without inventory, shipping, or manufacturing. The marketplace is global, the reach is unlimited, and the profit margin is nearly 100%. The beauty of digital products is that they turn your skills and knowledge into something permanent, something that grows, something that multiplies. When your product is online, it works for you even on days when you rest. 3. Online courses. Packaging your expertise. If you can solve one problem, you can teach it, and teaching online is one of the fastest growing income models in the world. Online courses have changed lives, not only for learners, but for creators. A course is an asset because you create it once, you upload it once, you update occasionally, and it continues paying you every time someone enrolls. Whether you teach English, design, marketing, business, creative skills, fitness, software, or anything you know well, there is a global audience ready to learn. People pay for clarity. People pay for step-by-step guidance. People pay to shortcut years of trial and error. Your knowledge becomes a profitable digital asset. 4. Digital subscription communities. Income that stays consistent. Subscriptions are one of the most stable forms of digital income. Instead of chasing one-time sales, you create recurring value that people pay for monthly. This could be a private community, a membership group, exclusive content, coaching access, tools and templates, weekly insights, digital services. Subscriptions create predictable cash flow. You build once, grow steadily, and your income compounds month after month. 5. Affiliate marketing, earning without creating products. Affiliate marketing is one of the simplest digital income models. You recommend products you trust, people purchase through your link, and you earn a percentage. You don't need inventory, customer support, shipping, manufacturing, capital. All you need is trust, clarity, and content. Every video, post, or article you create can include affiliate links that continue earning you money long after the content is published. Amazon, ClickBank, software tools, hosting services, courses, physical products all have affiliate programs. This is passive income at its simplest. 6. Licensing your work, assets that earn royalties. Digital licensing allows your content, music, photography, writing, or designs to earn royalties every time they are used. This is asset-based income at its finest. You create once, and platforms manage the distribution. Examples: stock photos, music for videos, sound effects, stock videos, logos and design assets, patterns, fonts, icons. People buy licenses daily. This market never sleeps. And once your assets are uploaded, they become permanent revenue generators. 7. Software and automation, building machines that run themselves. Software is one of the highest forms of digital assets. A simple program, an app, a plugin, or a tool can generate thousands in revenue monthly. Technology is leverage. If you can build something that saves people time, automates a task, or simplifies a pain point, the market will reward you. Even simple tools, calculators, templates, generators, can become profitable assets. Automation systems also fall into this category. A workflow that handles customer onboarding, email sequences, or data processing becomes an asset that saves hours and produces long-term value. Digital real estate, owning online properties. Websites, domains, and online platforms function like real estate. They appreciate in value, generate traffic, and can produce income through ads, sponsorships, or affiliate commissions. You can earn from niche blogs, review sites, SEO ranking pages, online communities, marketplace pages, high-value domain names. These digital properties collect traffic like real properties collect tenants. With every visitor, you earn. And once built, digital real estate can be sold for significant profit, sometimes 12 to 40 times the monthly income. 9. YouTube channels, the digital asset every creator should build. A single YouTube channel is one of the most powerful passive income engines on earth. Once a video is uploaded, it begins working for you permanently. YouTube pays you for views, watch time, ads, sponsorships, affiliate links, product sales, memberships. And the best part? Evergreen videos can pay for years without additional effort. One strong video can outperform months of traditional work. The reason digital assets are the best assets. You do not need large capital. You do not need a physical office. You do not need a team. You do not need permission. You only need a skill, a message, a product, a system, a willingness to start. Digital assets are the modern path to passive income because they combine scale, automation, and global reach. They let you multiply yourself. They break the limits of time. They provide stability in a world where jobs are unstable. Every digital asset you build becomes something you own, something no one can take away, something that works even on days when life is quiet, busy, or difficult. This is the new world, a world where your knowledge, creativity, and consistency become engines of freedom. Chapter 5. Intelligent Investing. Making your money work while you sleep. One of the most powerful truths in wealth creation is this: you will never experience true financial freedom until your money learns how to work harder than you do. Intelligent investing is the process of teaching your money to move, to grow, to expand, and to multiply without needing your daily involvement. It is the art of turning savings into assets, assets into cash flow, and cash flow into long-term stability. It is not about being lucky. It is about being intentional. Most people misunderstand investing. They imagine high-risk bets, unpredictable markets, complicated charts, or the fear of losing everything. But intelligent investing is none of those things. Intelligent investing is strategic, patient, and guided by principles, not emotion. It is less about chasing fast returns and more about building silent engines that grow year after year. When you invest intelligently, you are planting seeds that continue producing harvests long after the planting is done. Before you invest a single dollar, you must understand the truth that separates successful investors from frustrated ones. You invest not because you are trying to get rich fast, but because you want your money to work for you every day for the rest of your life. Investing is not an event. It is a lifelong system, a habit, a discipline. The first step in intelligent investing is to think in terms of cash flow, not just growth. Most people buy assets hoping they will go up in value, but wealthy people buy assets that also pay them while they grow. They want investments that provide returns immediately, quietly, consistently, month after month, year after year. Growth is important, but cash flow is freedom. Cash flow pays for your lifestyle. Cash flow replaces your salary. Cash flow allows you to sleep at night knowing that your life is supported by something other than your job. There are 4 major categories of intelligent investing that you must understand if you want to build long-term passive income: stocks, real estate, businesses, and digital investments. Each one offers a different type of leverage, a different type of return, and a different path to wealth. When combined, they create a financial ecosystem that works even while you sleep. Let's begin with stocks, one of the most accessible forms of investing. Stocks represent ownership in a company, and ownership creates income. When you buy shares of strong, profitable companies, you allow your money to participate in their growth. Some companies pay dividends, small portions of profit sent directly to shareholders. These dividends are passive income. They arrive without effort. They arrive without action. They arrive because you own a piece of something that produces value. Then there are index funds and ETFs, investments that give you ownership across hundreds or thousands of companies at once. They reduce risk, increase stability, and allow your money to grow steadily over time. The market may fluctuate in the short term, but historically it has grown consistently over decades. This is the core of intelligent investing: patience. You are not trying to win today. You are building a foundation for all the years ahead. Next is real estate, one of the oldest and most proven investment vehicles in human history. Real estate generates rent, steady, predictable income that can continue forever. Properties appreciate over time, and rental income tends to grow as the cost of living increases. Whether it's apartments, houses, land, or commercial units, real estate is a physical asset that produces cash flow, increases in value, and often comes with tax benefits. Many investors become free not because they earned millions, but because they accumulated a handful of properties that pay them monthly. But owning physical property isn't the only way to invest in real estate. REITs, real estate investment trusts, allow anyone to invest in real estate portfolios without needing to buy a building. They pay dividends, offer liquidity, and provide exposure to property markets even with small amounts of capital. This is the power of modern investing: access. Another pillar of intelligent investing is business ownership. You do not need to build a billion-dollar company. You only need ownership in something that produces profit. This could be a small local business, an online store, a franchise, or even a share in someone else's business. Businesses create profit, and profit is income. Unlike a job, business income can scale. It can grow exponentially. It can be automated. It can be delegated. It can continue even when you are not present. A business is the ultimate asset when structured correctly. Digital businesses in particular have transformed the investment landscape. E-commerce stores, automated online services, subscription platforms, and digital product businesses can create massive leverage with minimal overhead. These digital models combine the scaling power of technology with the income potential of traditional business. They work day and night, across borders, and require no physical location. This is intelligent investing in the digital era. The final category is digital financial investments, modern systems that accelerate wealth creation. This includes peer-to-peer lending, crypto projects, staking rewards, crowdfunding investments, and micro-investing platforms. These tools provide access to opportunities that were once available only to large investors. But they come with higher risk, which means intelligent investors use them strategically, not emotionally. They diversify. They protect their capital. They only invest what they understand. Intelligent investing is not about choosing one of these categories. It is about combining them. A well-designed investment portfolio spreads across multiple asset types, multiple industries, and multiple income sources. This reduces risk, increases resilience, and creates true financial independence. When one asset slows, another grows. When one stream decreases, another compensates. This balance is what gives wealthy people stability even in uncertain times. But before you build your investment portfolio, you must learn one more truth. Your biggest risk is doing nothing. Keeping money idle is the fastest way to fall behind. Inflation silently decreases its value every year. Your savings lose power. Your opportunities slip away. Intelligent investors understand that money that sits still is money that dies. This is why you must create an investment habit. Set a percentage of your income, no matter how small, and invest it consistently, monthly, automatically, without negotiation. Over time, these contributions compound into something far greater than the effort required to make them. This discipline turns ordinary workers into long-term investors. Another critical principle: never invest emotionally. Every bad investment is the result of fear or greed. Intelligent investing is grounded in logic, research, patience, and long-term thinking. You do not chase hype. You do not panic during downturns. You do not sell out of fear. You trust the system you built, and you allow time to do its work. And most importantly, invest in what you understand. Knowledge is your greatest advantage. No investment is risk-free, but every investment becomes safer when you understand it deeply. Learn the basics, understand the fundamentals, study the systems, build competence. Competence builds confidence. When you invest intelligently, your money becomes an unstoppable force. It works on weekends. It works on holidays. It works when you are tired, when you are traveling, when you are sleeping, when you are spending time with family. It works quietly, consistently, faithfully. And when your money works harder than you do, freedom becomes inevitable. This is how wealth is created, not in sudden leaps, but through intelligent, consistent, disciplined investing, through assets that grow, expand, and multiply, through strategies that continue paying you for the rest of your life. This is the blueprint. This is the shift. This is how you create money that never stops. Chapter 6. Building Your First Passive Income Stream, Step-by-Step Guide. Building your first passive income stream is not about being perfect, brilliant, or lucky. It is about taking small, clear steps that lead to something powerful over time. Every person who has ever built wealth started with just one stream, one idea, one asset, one small beginning. And once the first stream is created, the second becomes easier, the third becomes natural, and soon, financial freedom becomes more realistic than ever before. This chapter will guide you through the exact steps you need to build your first passive income stream. Whether you choose digital products, investments, online platforms, or real estate in the future, the process is the same. The steps you learn here will apply to every income stream you build for the rest of your life. This is your blueprint. Clear, simple, actionable, and proven. Step 1. Identify the stream that fits you best. Not all passive income streams are equal, and not all streams fit every person. The goal is to choose one that matches your strengths, your time availability, and your resources. Ask yourself, what skill or knowledge can I turn into value? What digital asset could I create? Am I comfortable learning content creation? Do I want something low effort, like investing? Am I willing to build something slowly but steadily? There are 3 main types of passive income streams you can choose from. A. Knowledge-based assets. Ebooks, guides, tutorials, templates, courses, YouTube channels. Best for people who enjoy teaching, sharing, or creating. B. Capital-based assets. Stocks, ETFs, REITs, bonds, real estate. Best for people who want a simple, reliable, long-term system. C. System-based assets. Automation, small online stores, subscription models, affiliate channels. Best for people who enjoy building systems or platforms. Choose one. Only one. Starting with too many will slow you down. Focus creates momentum. Step 2. Define a clear problem you can solve. Every successful asset solves a problem. People pay for clarity, solutions, shortcuts, and value. If you don't know what problem you are solving, you are building blindly. Ask yourself, what problem do I understand better than most people? What mistake did I overcome that others are still struggling with? What can I simplify, teach, or automate for others? What valuable information do I already know? Even investment-based streams solve a problem. People need a place to grow their money. Real estate solves the problem of housing. Digital tools solve the problem of saving time. Educational content solves the problem of confusion. Clarity turns your idea into something meaningful. When you solve a real problem, your passive income asset becomes valuable, and value is what people pay for. Step 3. Keep it small at first. The biggest mistake beginners make is trying to build something huge. Massive projects fail because they require massive pressure, but small assets are easy to build, easy to test, and easy to improve. Examples of a small start are a 20-page ebook instead of a full course, a single YouTube video instead of a full channel launch, a simple checklist or template instead of a huge digital product library, a $20 investment into an ETF instead of trying to invest hundreds, a single automation workflow instead of building a full business system. Think small, but start now. Your first version is just the beginning, not the final destination. Step 4. Build the asset. Build once. This is where effort becomes value. This is the phase that requires focus, patience, and completion. Building once means you write it, you record it, you design it, you upload it, you automate it, you set it up, you finalize it, and once it exists, it begins to work for you. Building the asset is the hardest part because it requires you to create something new. Your mind may resist, you may doubt yourself, but this is the moment that separates the dreamers from the builders. Do not chase perfection. Chase completion. A finished asset that earns a little money is better than a perfect asset that never launches. Step 5. Set up the system that delivers the asset. A passive income asset becomes passive only when a system delivers it automatically. For example, a digital product needs an automated online store. A YouTube video needs a channel to host it. An investment needs an automatic monthly deposit. An ebook needs a download page. A membership group needs automated billing. An affiliate link needs content to drive traffic. Without a system, your asset cannot work on its own. But the good news is that modern tools make automation incredibly simple, often just a few clicks. Your goal is to make the system so smooth that your involvement becomes optional. The system is what creates consistency. The system is what turns your effort into long-term income. Step 6. Start small distribution. Let people discover it. Most beginners think they need thousands of followers, high-level marketing, or paid ads to sell their first asset. This is not true. In the beginning, you only need a few eyes. Start with simple distribution. Share value on social platforms, post in relevant communities, add your product link in your profiles, use your existing network, publish content consistently, optimize the title and description, use keywords people search for. Your first customers will be people who see your value naturally. You don't need to sell hard. You only need to be present, clear, and consistent. Remember this truth. People cannot buy your asset if they do not know it exists. Visibility creates opportunity. Step 8. Improve and refine based on feedback. Once your asset is live, the real learning begins. People will tell you what they like, what they need, what they struggle with, and what questions they still have. This feedback is not criticism, it is gold. Use feedback to update your asset, make it clearer, add additional value, improve performance, fix confusion, strengthen your system. Every improvement increases the value of your asset, and when the value increases, your income increases. Step 8. Automate and step back. When your first asset begins generating consistent income, even a small amount, you have officially built your first passive income stream. Now your job is to automate as much as possible. Automation looks like auto delivery, auto payments, auto emails, auto posts, auto deposits, auto updates. Automation turns effort into freedom. Automation makes your asset independent. Automation allows your financial life to grow quietly in the background. This is where passive income becomes real. You created something once, and now it continues to reward you. Step 9. Let time multiply your results. Here is the truth most people ignore. Your passive income asset grows the most not from your effort, but from time. One strong piece of content can earn for years. One investment can compound into something life-changing. One digital product can sell thousands of times. One automation system can run endlessly. Time is the silent engine of wealth. Once your asset exists, time does the heavy lifting. Your job is simply to stay consistent and keep improving. Step 10. Build your second stream when ready. Once your first stream is stable and automated, you are ready to build the next. But do not rush. Do not abandon the first. Build slowly, intentionally, strategically. Your second stream becomes easier because you understand the process, you have more confidence, you have more skill, you have more clarity, you have more momentum. And soon you will have multiple streams working for you quietly, consistently, automatically. Building your first passive income stream is not complicated. It is a sequence, a blueprint, a repeatable system that anyone can follow. Your life changes the moment you learn that you can build something once and have it pay you forever. This is the beginning. This is your foundation. This is how freedom starts, one asset at a time. Chapter 7. Creating Multiple Streams of Income, the Power of Diversification. Once you have built your first passive income stream, something begins to shift inside you. You start to feel a different type of confidence. The confidence that comes from knowing your financial future is no longer controlled by a single source. You begin to understand that freedom does not come from one asset, one job, one business, or one opportunity, but from multiple streams of income working together in harmony. This is the power of diversification. Diversification protects you, expands you, and frees you. It is the principle that allows you to stop depending on one source of income, the most dangerous financial position anyone can be in, and start building a portfolio of income streams that support your life from different angles. When one slows down, another grows. When one pauses, another continues. When one takes time to mature, another pays today. The truth is simple. Wealthy people do not rely on one income stream. They rely on systems. They rely on layers. They rely on multiple engines of income running at the same time. This is not coincidence. It is strategy. Most people feel stressed because they depend on only one financial lifeline. One job, one salary, one source. And when something happens, health issues, layoffs, a slow month, unexpected expenses, everything collapses. A single break in that flow causes panic because there are no backup streams, no alternative sources, no safety net. Diversification eliminates this fear. It creates financial stability regardless of circumstance. It gives you peace. It gives you options. It gives you the ability to live, work, and plan from a place of strength, not pressure. But to build multiple streams of income effectively, you must understand the difference between random hustle and strategic diversification. Random hustle is jumping from opportunity to opportunity, chasing trends, switching lanes too quickly, and trying to do everything at once. This leads to burnout, confusion, and failure. Strategic diversification is different. It is intentional. It is structured. It is slow, stable, and planned. You build one stream, stabilize it, automate it, then move on to the next. Layer by layer, your financial life grows stronger. There are 4 major categories of income streams that work beautifully together. When all 4 are present, your financial life becomes balanced, resilient, and scalable. 1 is earned income. your starting point. This is the income you work for, your job, your career, your profession. Earned income is not the enemy. It is the foundation. It gives you stability while you build other assets. It funds your investments. It provides the structure you need while developing new streams. But earned income alone is not enough because it depends entirely on your presence. Diversification begins when you use your earned income to create streams that do not require you daily. Other income assets. Your wealth engine. These are your investments: stocks, ETFs, REITs, bonds, dividends, long-term holdings. Asset income grows silently and steadily. It pays you through appreciation and dividends. And once your investment portfolio expands, it becomes one of the most reliable forms of passive income ever created. Diversifying here means spreading your investments across industries, sectors, and asset classes so no single market controls your entire future. Business income, your freedom accelerator. This is income produced by businesses you own or systems you built. It could be a small online store, a service business with automation, a digital product business, a subscription model, affiliate platforms, a YouTube channel, a side business or micro brand. Business income is scalable. It frees you from the limits of time. A well-built system can pay you endlessly while growing in the background. Royalty and licensing income, your everlasting streams. This is income that comes from assets you create once and license forever. Books, music, designs, photography, software, digital assets, creative works, online courses. Every time someone buys, uses, or licenses your work, you get paid again, even years later. This type of income creates financial legacy. It is one of the most powerful forms of passive income ever created. When these four categories work together, you become financially unstoppable. You no longer depend on one income source. You no longer fear uncertainty. You no longer live month to month. Instead, you live with confidence because your life is supported by a network of streams, not a single paycheck. But how do you build these streams strategically? The key is sequence, not speed. Trying to build everything at once is the quickest way to overwhelm. Instead, follow this simple blueprint. Step 1. Strengthen your main source first. Your job, your business, or your primary source of income must be stable. This gives you breathing room, reduces pressure, and creates the foundation for future investments. Step 2. Build your first passive stream. This could be a small digital product, a YouTube video, a simple investment plan, or a basic subscription model. Keep it simple, keep it small, complete it. Step 3. Automate it. Automation is what makes income passive. Once your first stream runs on its own, even at a small scale, you have officially created leverage. Step 4. Build your second stream. Choose something different from the first so you diversify. For example, if your first stream is digital, choose investment next. If your first stream is investments, choose digital next. If your first stream is business, add a royalty-based asset. If your first stream is content, add a subscription or product. Each new stream should complement, not duplicate the previous one. Step 5. Repeat the process slowly. You do not need 5 streams in 1 year. You only need consistency. Build 1 per year or even 1 every 2 years. Over time, the number begins to grow. 1 stream, 2 streams, 3 streams, 4 streams, 6 streams, 10 streams. And each one contributes something small. But together, they create something massive. Step 6. Protect your streams. Once you have multiple income sources, diversification becomes your shield, but you also need systems that protect what you built. Emergency funds, smart insurance, regular reviews, updating outdated assets, reinvesting returns, avoiding unnecessary risks. Protecting your streams ensures your financial ecosystem remains strong. The real power of diversification. Diversification gives you freedom of choice. When you have multiple streams of income working quietly in the background, your life changes dramatically. You begin making decisions from a place of calm instead of fear. You're no longer forced to stay in environments that drain you. You're no longer trapped by one employer, one economic condition, or one industry. Multiple streams give you confidence, stability, safety, expansion, opportunity, flexibility, independence. This is the life wealthy people live every day, not because they are lucky, but because they built multiple income engines that allow them to live without fear. The moment you stop relying on one income source is the moment your financial freedom begins. Diversification is not just a strategy, it is a lifestyle, a mindset, and a foundation for long-term wealth. This is the power of creating multiple streams. This is the key to financial resilience. This is how you build a life where money never stops flowing. Chapter 8. Systems and Automation. Designing income that runs without you. The true power of passive income is not found in the asset itself, but in the system behind the asset, the system that delivers your value, manages your operations, handles your customers, organizes your cash flow, and continues running even when you're not paying attention. Without systems, income is temporary. With systems, income becomes continuous. This is the moment where wealth transforms from effort-based to system-based, from active to passive, from temporary to permanent. A system is simply a repeatable process that works the same way every time. When you automate that system, it becomes a machine, a financial engine that runs in the background while you live your life. This chapter is about designing those systems, the systems that free your time, the systems that create leverage, the systems that make your money move with or without you. Because the truth is simple. If you must be involved every day, it's not passive income, it's a job. Your goal is to build systems that make your involvement optional, not required. 1. Systems turn work into wealth. Most people do tasks. Wealthy people build systems that perform tasks for them. Most people manually handle everything. Wealthy people automate as much as possible. Most people trade time. Wealthy people trade systems. Systems are the bridge between effort and freedom. They take something you did once and turn it into something that works forever. They eliminate chaos, reduce stress, and remove the need for constant decision-making. A system protects your energy by handling the routine so you can focus on the important. Imagine receiving payments automatically. Imagine new customers onboarding automatically. Imagine your digital products delivering automatically. Imagine your investments growing automatically. Imagine your content being pushed to new audiences automatically. This is not fantasy. This is the reality of systems and automation. 2. What makes a system powerful? A system is powerful when it does 3 things. A. Reduces your involvement. The less you need to do, the more passive the income becomes. B. Works consistently. A good system performs the same tasks the same way every time, without forgetting, without skipping steps, and without emotional resistance. C. Scales easily. When demand increases, a system can handle growth without requiring more of your time. A system replaces manual labor with structure. A great system replaces manual labor with automation. 4. The 4 types of income systems you must build. To design income that runs without you, you need systems in 4 categories. 1. Production systems. These create your product, your content, or your value. Examples: a batching schedule for YouTube content, a system for writing ebooks, templates for creating repeatable digital products, a structured way to record lessons for courses. With production systems, creating becomes easier, faster, and more predictable. 2. Delivery systems. These get your asset into the hands of the customer automatically. Examples: automatic payment plus download pages, auto delivery of digital products, automated email sequences for new customers, automated publishing to social platforms, online course platforms that handle everything. Delivery systems are what make income truly passive. Click, purchase, deliver, all without you. 4. Cash flow systems. These handle money without manual work. Examples: automatic investment contributions, automated savings transfers, auto-renewing subscription payments, recurring membership income, digital marketplaces that handle payouts. Cash flow systems make money flow smoothly in and out without your attention. 5. Growth systems. These help your asset reach more people over time. Examples: search engine optimization, scheduling social media content, automated reposting tools, paid ads that run on autopilot, affiliate programs where others promote your product. Growth systems ensure your income grows even if you're not active daily. 5. Automation is the engine of passive income. Automation turns a system into something nearly self-sustaining. Automation handles tasks you would normally perform manually: sending emails, processing payments, delivering products, providing instructions, onboarding customers, scheduling content, organizing data, updating financial contributions, repeating tasks at the right time. Automation multiplies your time and eliminates human error. It works at 3 a.m. It works on holidays. It works when you're on vacation. It works when you're asleep. Automation is the silent worker that never demands a paycheck. 6. The goal is build once, optimize forever. Some people think automation is complicated, but the goal is not to automate everything at once. Start small. Automate the tasks that repeat. Automate the steps you forget. Automate the processes that drain your time. Ask yourself daily, what am I doing that could be automated? If you repeat a task more than 3 times, automate it. If it consumes brain power, automate it. If it takes your time but adds little value, automate it. If it slows down your business, automate it. Automation is not about replacing you, it is about freeing you. 7. How systems make your life easier. When you design income that runs without you, your life becomes lighter. You no longer feel trapped by deadlines or overwhelmed by tasks. You begin working on your life instead of in it. Systems give you free time, mental clarity, predictable income, less pressure, more creativity, room to grow, the ability to scale. Without systems, you have stress. With systems, you have stability. With automation, you have freedom. 8. Your system should do the work, not you. Imagine this scenario. You wake up, you check your phone, you see new sales. You see automated investment deposits. You see subscriptions renewed. You see content automatically posted. You see customers onboarded. You see emails sent without you. You see your digital asset continuing to grow. This is not fantasy. This is systems and automation doing their job. This is the life that passive income builds. 9. Once you build the system, your only job is to monitor. You do not abandon the system, you monitor it, you refine it, you adjust it. But you don't run the machine runs for you. Check results weekly, fix small issues, improve performance, update occasionally, track your growth. Your role becomes oversight, not labor. 10. The freedom you gain is not just about money. When your income is supported by systems, your mind becomes free to think bigger. You finally have time to learn new skills, start new streams, improve your health, spend time with family, explore new opportunities, live your life with intention. Money takes care of itself when systems take care of money. The end goal is not to be rich. The end goal is to be free. Free from stress, free from pressure, free from being tied to your job, free from trading hours forever. Systems give you that freedom. Automation keeps it alive. Chapter 9. Scaling your wealth, turning small income streams into big ones. Every great financial story begins small. A simple idea, a small stream, a few dollars, a few views, a few sales. A small beginning that most people overlook or underestimate. And yet, the secret of wealth is not in starting big. It is in scaling what works, refining what grows, and multiplying what begins small. The difference between someone who builds long-term freedom and someone who stays stuck is not the size of their first income stream. It is their ability to scale it. Scaling is the process of taking something that works and expanding it without expanding your effort. It is the art of getting bigger results from the same amount of work or less. This is how small digital products turn into large libraries, how simple investments become powerful portfolios, how one video sparks a whole channel, and how one rental property becomes a real estate empire. Scaling turns momentum into acceleration, and acceleration into wealth. The first principle of scaling is simple. You scale results, not effort. Trying to work harder will not multiply your income. You do not scale by adding more hours, you scale by adding more leverage. You identify what is working, you automate it, you refine it, and then you expand it without increasing your workload. This is how your income begins to grow exponentially. The second principle of scaling is to strengthen what is already performing. Before expanding into new streams, your first stream should be optimized. It should be efficient. It should be automated. It should be reliable. A small stream that runs smoothly is more powerful than a large stream that drains your energy and time. Scale begins with optimization. Ask yourself, what is my highest performing product? Which video brings most of the traffic? Which investment produces the most stable return? Which system saves me the most time? Which part of my business grows naturally without pressure? Whatever is working the best, scale that first. Scaling also requires removing what is not working. Many people stay stuck because they continue pouring energy into low-performing areas. They keep doing tasks that create no growth. They stay loyal to outdated methods. They fear letting go. But true scaling requires clarity and courage. You must cut what drains you and amplify what strengthens you. The third principle of scaling is replication. One successful piece of content can turn into 10 similar ones. One strong digital product can become a full product line. One simple automation can become a complete system. One profitable investment strategy can be increased monthly. One subscription model can expand into multiple tiers. Replication multiplies your presence without multiplying your time. For example, if one YouTube video performs well, make more with the same structure. If one digital product sells, create variations, bundles, or upgrades. If a course does well, build deeper or beginner versions. If one rental unit works, repeat the same model for the next property. If one automation saves time, replicate it across multiple workflows. Scaling is not about starting something new, it is about repeating what works. The fourth principle of scaling is distribution. More people seeing your asset means more income without creating anything new. Distribution is how you turn a small audience into a large one, a small product into a bestseller, a small idea into a movement. You scale distribution by posting consistently, reposting content across platforms, using SEO for organic traffic, partnering with affiliates, collaborating with other creators, leveraging paid ads, optional, automating your publishing schedule, using platforms with built-in global reach. Distribution expands your audience without expanding your workload. The fifth principle of scaling is compounding, the silent force that grows your wealth automatically. Compounding is not just financial, it exists in content, systems, audience, trust, and reputation. Every asset reinforces another. Every improvement makes the next step easier. When you reinvest your returns, whether time, money, or attention, your growth accelerates. Examples of compounding: your investment profits buy more investments. Your content library brings more views to each new video. Your customers refer new customers. Your network opens new opportunities. Your skills improve with every project. Your systems become more efficient over time. Scaling is not only about expansion, it is about multiplying momentum. The sixth principle of scaling is delegation. At some point, your growth will reach a level where your time becomes too valuable to spend on low-impact tasks. This is where delegation becomes the key to multiplying your income further. You delegate tasks such as editing, design, customer support, research, admin work, post-production, scheduling, technical tasks. Delegation unlocks your ability to focus on high-value work, strategy, creativity, innovation, improvement. The seventh principle of scaling is diversification based on strength. Once your first stream is strong and stable, you build your second. But you don't start from zero, you start from strength. If your digital product sells well, adding a second product is easier than starting a completely unrelated business. If your YouTube channel is growing, adding a second niche playlist is easier than creating an entirely new channel. If your investments are performing, increasing your monthly contribution is easier than switching to a new strategy. Your second, third, and fourth streams should be extensions of your strengths, not random detours. The eighth principle of scaling is review and refinement. Scaling requires awareness, understanding your numbers, analyzing performance, measuring output, and adjusting strategy. Ask yourself monthly, what produced the most income this month? What consumed the most time? What grew naturally? What stalled? What can be automated? What should be eliminated? What needs to be optimized? Scaling is not a single event, it is a continuous process of improvement. The ninth principle of scaling is patience with consistency. Growth does not happen overnight. It is built through small actions repeated consistently. You may not notice growth day to day, but when you look back after a few months, you'll see the transformation. Small streams become big through daily consistency, monthly refinement, quiet effort, systems improving, audience growing, assets accumulating, income stabilizing. Patience is the foundation of exponential results. And the final principle of scaling, the one that separates the successful from the frustrated, is this: you scale the system, not yourself. You do not take on more work. You do not exhaust yourself. You do not try to be everywhere. You do not expand your hours. You expand your impact. Chapter 10: Financial Freedom. Living from your assets, not your labor. There is a moment in every wealth-building journey when your life shifts from pressure to peace, from effort to leverage, from survival to freedom. This moment arrives when you finally begin living from your assets instead of your labor, when your income no longer depends on your hours, when your money, your systems, and your creations move quietly in the background, supporting your life without requiring your constant presence. This is the essence of financial freedom. This is the destination of everything you've built in this blueprint. Financial freedom does not mean you stop working. It means you stop needing to work. It means work becomes a choice, not a requirement. It means your assets, your investments, your digital products, your businesses, your properties, your royalties generate enough income to cover your lifestyle. It means your income continues even when you rest. It means your money works harder than you do. Most people spend their entire lives living from labor. They depend on one job, one salary, one source of income, and because of that, they live with constant pressure. Pressure to perform, pressure to stay employed, pressure to remain healthy, pressure to keep showing up, pressure to avoid mistakes, pressure to never pause. Because if they pause, their income pauses. If they stop, their life collapses. Living from labor is living with insecurity. Living from assets is living with stability. Financial freedom is built when the cash flow from your assets becomes greater than the cost of your life. When your investments, royalties, digital assets, and businesses consistently generate enough income to pay your monthly expenses, you have achieved what only a small percentage of people ever experience: autonomy. But reaching autonomy does not happen by accident. It is intentional. It is built piece by piece, stream by stream, decision by decision. It begins with mindset. It continues with the creation of assets. It grows through systems and automation. And it matures when you scale and diversify. Financial freedom is not a single decision. It is a series of decisions made consistently over time. To live from your assets, you must understand the 3 levels of financial independence. Level 1. Survival independence. Your assets cover your basic needs: food, housing, utilities, transportation. At this point, you no longer fear losing your job because your essential life is protected by your income streams. Level 2. Stability independence. Your assets cover both your basic needs and your lifestyle: entertainment, travel, comfort, savings, regular expenses. At this level, you experience genuine peace. You live with ease. You no longer worry about month end. You have freedom of time, choice, and direction. Level 3. Total financial freedom. Your assets produce far more income than you need. Your life is fully supported by systems, investments, businesses, and intellectual property. You can spend your time however you choose: building, exploring, resting, giving, or simply enjoying life. Work becomes optional. Pressure disappears. Time becomes yours. This is the level where wealth becomes generational. This is the level where your blueprint becomes a legacy. This is the level where life opens in ways you never imagined. To reach the final level, you must build your life on 4 pillars. Pillar 1. Asset accumulation. You must accumulate cash flow producing assets, dividend stocks, rental properties, digital assets, online businesses, subscriptions, royalties, intellectual property, scalable services. The more assets you accumulate, the more cash flow you generate. Assets are your soldiers. They work for you around the clock. They don't ask for permission, rest, or a raise. They simply do their job. Pillar 2. Debt and expense control. Financial freedom is not only about how much you earn, it is also about how much you keep. Reducing unnecessary expenses, avoiding high-interest debt, and simplifying your lifestyle accelerates your path to independence. Freedom grows when costs shrink and assets expand. Pillar 3. Automatic systems. Your financial life must run on automation. Automatic investing, automatic savings, automatic bill payments, automated business systems, automated distribution of content, automated customer onboarding. Automation ensures consistency. It protects your decisions. It keeps your wealth growing even when you are not paying attention. Pillar 4. Scalable income. To truly live from assets, you need income that can grow without limits. Linear income cannot scale, but assets can. Digital products can. Investments can. Businesses can. Systems can. Content can. Automation can. This is why wealthy people choose assets over labor. Assets scale forever. When these 4 pillars are in place, something remarkable begins to happen. Your life becomes lighter. Your stress begins to fade. Your time opens up. Your decisions become clearer. Your opportunities expand. Your future becomes predictable. Your income becomes resilient. You begin living from a place of peace instead of pressure. Financial freedom also changes how you think. When you live from assets, you don't make decisions based on fear. You don't rush. You don't panic. You don't settle. You don't cling to outdated systems. Instead, you think long-term. You think like a builder, a creator, an investor, a strategist. You begin asking, what asset should I build next? How can I optimize my systems? What can I automate? What can I scale? How can I protect what I've built? What legacy am I creating for my family? When your income is not tied to your hours, your mind is free to focus on growth. And when your mind is free, your entire life expands. The greatest reward of financial freedom is not the money. It is the time. Time to rest deeply. Time to think clearly. Time to build without pressure. Time to be present with people you love. Time to explore your potential. Time to experience life with intention instead of urgency. Time is the real wealth, and assets give it back to you. As you reach the final steps of your blueprint, remember that financial freedom is not a dream reserved for the lucky. It is a system, a process, a strategy, a journey, and you have already learned the path. Build assets, create systems, automate your life, scale what works, diversify your streams, protect your foundation. Do this consistently, and your life will transform. Financial freedom is not a fantasy, it is a formula. Your blueprint to freedom begins now. As you reach the final pages of this journey, remember this: financial freedom was never a destination reserved for the privileged few. It was never a secret hidden behind closed doors or locked inside an elite circle. It has always been available to anyone willing to think differently, act intentionally, and build consistently. You now possess the blueprint, a clear, repeatable, practical path that has helped countless people transform their financial lives. And now, it belongs to you. Your freedom will not come from sudden luck or a single breakthrough. It will come from disciplined action. Quiet, steady, deliberate action. It will come from building one asset at a time, from creating one system at a time, from refining one stream at a time, from investing a little today so that your future becomes stronger tomorrow. The blueprint works not because it is complicated, but because it is simple, and simplicity, when repeated, becomes unstoppable. You have learned how to shift from working hard to working smart. You have learned how to build assets that grow without your constant involvement. You have learned how to invest intelligently, automate your income, and scale small streams into powerful engines. You have learned to diversify, protect, refine, and expand your financial world. But knowledge alone does not change a life. Only action does. Never underestimate the power of starting small. A single video can grow into a channel. A single investment can become a portfolio. A single digital product can become a business. A single habit can rebuild your entire financial identity. Do not wait for perfect conditions. Do not wait for the right time. Do not wait until you feel ready. Freedom belongs to the ones who move, even when they are unsure, even when they feel small, even when the first step feels humble. The truth is simple. Every asset you build brings you closer to a life where time becomes yours again, a life where stress fades and stability grows, a life where you wake up knowing your future is secure because you built it with intention, a life where your income comes from your intelligence, not your exhaustion, a life where you live from your assets, not your labor. You now hold the blueprint, but the blueprint alone will not build the house. You must lay the bricks. You must design your systems. You must plant your seeds. You must protect your foundation. You must commit to your journey. If you do, freedom becomes inevitable. And someday, sooner than you expect, you will look back and realize you no longer depend on a job for survival. Your assets will be working. Your streams will be flowing. Your income will be growing. Your life will finally feel like your own. This is your beginning. This is your opportunity. This is your blueprint. Your freedom starts now.